Before the fame, before the noise, there was a quiet man with a guitar, a Beatle who spoke softly but carried the weight of the universe in his music. They called him the Quiet One. But when George Harrison finally spoke, the world listened, and it never sounded the same again. These are 10 songs that silenced everyone who ever underestimated him. Number 10. Taxman, 1966. When the Beatles released Revolver, no one expected the opening track to come from George. Taxman was more than a rock song. It was rebellion set to rhythm. He was fed up with the British government taking most of the band's earnings, and he turned that frustration into art. Backed by Paul's fierce bass line and John's harmonies, the track became a sarcastic anthem against authority. It wasn't just witty, it was fearless. For the first time, George wasn't standing behind Lennon and McCartney. He was leading the charge. This was the song that made fans and his bandmates realize the quiet Beatle had something powerful to say. Number 9. If I Needed Someone, 1965. Inspired by the Byrds' jangly guitar sound, this song marked George's growing confidence as a songwriter. It's a gentle love song, yes, but listen closely and you can hear the shift. The harmonies feel freer, the guitar more intricate, the words more personal. It was a moment where George began defining his kind of love, simple, spiritual, and grounded. Even John Lennon once admitted that George's musical instincts were sharper than most people realized. If I Needed Someone wasn't a hit single, but it became one of those deep cuts musicians quietly admire. Proof that Harrison was learning how to whisper louder than others could shout. Number 8. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, 1968. Pain never sounded this beautiful. Written during the Beatles' White Album sessions, George's song came from pure frustration. The band was breaking apart, and he felt invisible. I looked at the world and noticed it was turning, he said, while my guitar gently wept. He invited Eric Clapton to play the haunting solo, adding emotion that felt almost human. The song isn't about heartbreak. It's about the tragedy of misunderstanding. Each note cries, each word aches. This was the moment George's soul took center stage. No screaming, no spotlight, just truth in every line. Number 7. Here Comes the Sun, 1969. It's impossible not to smile when this song begins. George wrote it while skipping a stressful business meeting with the Beatles management, walking through Eric Clapton's garden instead. The warmth of spring, the relief from chaos, all of it became this melody. Here Comes the Sun is pure light, and maybe that's why it never ages. It's not just a happy tune, it's George's quiet declaration of peace in a world full of noise. Even after decades, it still feels like sunrise captured in sound, hopeful, humble, eternal. Number 6. Starting Something, 1969. When Sinatra called this the greatest love song ever written, he wasn't exaggerating. Something was George's moment of artistic arrival. It was tender yet universal, a love letter both romantic and divine. Unlike Lennon's raw confessions or McCartney's polished charm, Harrison's song was deeply human. It's love stripped of glamour, patient, sacred, and real. Written for his then-wife Pattie Boyd, the song became timeless proof that simplicity can be more powerful than perfection. George didn't need to prove anything anymore. Something proved it for him. Number 5. My Sweet Lord, 1970. His first solo masterpiece after the Beatles' breakup, My Sweet Lord was both a hymn and a pop hit, a spiritual awakening disguised as a chart topper. George blended Christian Hallelujah with Hindu Hare Krishna, creating a bridge between worlds through melody. He wanted people to feel divine love no matter what they believed. It wasn't about religion, it was about connection. The song's success shocked everyone. George, the quiet one, had found the loudest truth. Faith could rock the charts. Number 4. What is Life, 1970. If My Sweet Lord was spiritual, What is Life was joyful. Built on a driving guitar riff and explosive horns, it radiates pure energy. The lyrics wrestle with purpose and meaning, but the sound? It's liberation. This was George letting go of the Beatles' shadow and embracing life with open arms. It's philosophical, but it makes you dance. And that's exactly how he lived, thinking deeply, laughing freely, and turning reflection into rhythm. Number 3, Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth, 1973. Written during a time of political turmoil, this song wasn't angry, it was compassionate. George believed peace had to start from within. Every note feels like a prayer whispered into the chaos. It became his second US #1, proving once again that sincerity sells better than spectacle. Where others shouted for revolution, George simply hoped for love. And somehow, that whisper echoed louder. Number 2, All Things Must Pass, 1970. This wasn't just a song, it was his philosophy. Born from pain and acceptance, All Things Must Pass reflected George's spiritual understanding of impermanence. He saw change not as loss, but as renewal. Sunrise doesn't last all morning, he wrote. A cloudburst doesn't last all day. Those lines became healing for millions. When you lose something, you play this song. When you heal, you play it again. And somehow, it still fits. Number 1, Isn't It a Pity, 1970. This song feels like a sigh from the universe itself. George wrote it years earlier, but the Beatles never used it. Maybe they weren't ready to face the truth in its lyrics. It's a reflection on humanity's flaws, our selfishness, our blindness, our inability to love fully. But instead of anger, George offers forgiveness. Isn't it a pity how we break each other's hearts? He sings, not with bitterness, but with grace. It's his greatest masterpiece, the sound of wisdom, sorrow, and serenity intertwined. George Harrison never needed to shout. His silence carried thunder, his guitar spoke truth, and his songs became prayers. He wasn't just a Beatle, he was the soul behind the sound, and his music still whispers peace to a world that desperately needs it.